We think we know what influences our decisions. We weigh the pros and cons. We consider our options. But what if there's a hidden world of influence, operating just below the surface of our awareness? This is the realm of subliminal advertising. It's the art of planting seeds of persuasion in the subconscious mind. Subliminal advertising isn't about blatant messages shouted in our faces. It's about subtle cues flashed quickly or embedded discreetly, designed to bypass our conscious filters. These cues, whether visual or auditory, aim to trigger desires and influence behavior without us ever realizing we've been targeted. The very idea of subliminal advertising is unsettling to many. It suggests a world where our thoughts and decisions can be manipulated without our consent. The concept gained notoriety in the 1950s with James Vicari's infamous Eat Popcorn, Drink Coca-Cola experiment. While later debunked as a hoax, the experiment sparked widespread fear and fascination, forever linking subliminal advertising with clandestine manipulation. Despite the controversy, the pursuit of understanding and harnessing the power of the subconscious continued. Researchers and marketers alike remained intrigued by the possibility of influencing behavior through subtle subliminal means. This ongoing fascination speaks to the enduring power of the unseen and the profound questions it raises about free will and persuasion in a world saturated with media. Subliminal advertising employs a variety of techniques, often leveraging our natural tendencies and perceptual blind spots. These techniques can be broadly categorized into two main types: visual and auditory. Visual subliminal messaging often relies on speed and camouflage. A common tactic is the use of flashing images or words for fractions of a second, too brief to be consciously registered but potentially processed by the subconscious. Imagine a fast-paced action sequence in a movie. Hidden within the flurry of images, a logo or product placement appears for a single frame, barely perceptible to the conscious eye, but potentially registering on a deeper level. Another visual technique involves embedding hidden symbols or text within images. These embedded messages are often subtle, designed to be overlooked during normal viewing, but still processed subconsciously. Think of a magazine advertisement where a pattern in the background subtly forms the shape of a product logo or spells out a persuasive message. Auditory subliminal messaging, on the other hand, targets the ears. One method involves playing messages backward or at extremely low volumes, often masked by other sounds. The idea is that these messages, though not consciously audible, can still be picked up by the subconscious mind. For example, a relaxing music track might contain subliminal messages like "feel good, buy now," or "trust this brand." Binaural beats offer another intriguing avenue for auditory subliminal influence. This technique involves playing two slightly different frequencies, one in each ear. The brain, in an attempt to reconcile the difference, creates a third, phantom frequency that can potentially influence brainwave activity and induce specific mental states. While still an area of ongoing research, binaural beats have been explored for their potential to enhance relaxation, focus, and even influence purchasing decisions. The effectiveness of subliminal advertising remains a subject of ongoing debate and scientific inquiry. While some early studies, like Vicari's infamous popcorn experiment, claimed significant influence, these findings were later discredited, casting a long shadow of doubt over the field. Subsequent research has yielded mixed results, with some studies suggesting that subliminal messages can have small, short-term effects on attitudes and preferences, while others find little to no measurable impact. The challenge lies in isolating the effects of subliminal stimuli from other factors that influence behavior. Our decisions are shaped by a complex interplay of conscious and unconscious processes, making it difficult to pinpoint the precise role of subliminal messages. Critics argue that even if subliminal advertising can produce minor, fleeting effects, these effects are likely insignificant compared to the influence of overt advertising, social norms, and personal preferences. They point out that our brains are adept at filtering out irrelevant information, including subliminal messages, and that we have a natural resistance to being manipulated against our will. Proponents, however, counter that even small subconscious nudges can have cumulative effects over time, especially in a media-saturated world where we are constantly bombarded with persuasive messages. They argue that subliminal advertising operates on the margins of our awareness, subtly shaping our perceptions and influencing our choices in ways we may not even recognize. Beyond the scientific debate lies a deeper ethical question. Even if subliminal advertising works, is it right? Critics argue that it represents a form of manipulation, exploiting our subconscious vulnerabilities without our knowledge or consent. They worry that it undermines our autonomy, turning us into puppets of marketers, pulling at the strings of our desires. The use of subliminal techniques raises concerns about fairness and transparency. Consumers should be aware of the persuasive techniques being used to influence their decisions. Hidden persuasion, by its very nature, denies individuals the opportunity to critically evaluate the message and make informed choices. The potential for harm is another ethical consideration. While subliminal messages may seem harmless on the surface, critics worry about their potential to trigger addictive behaviors or exploit vulnerable populations, such as children or individuals with mental health conditions. The debate surrounding the ethics of subliminal advertising highlights the tension between marketing goals and consumer protection. While marketers strive to influence consumer behavior, ethical considerations require that persuasion be conducted responsibly, transparently, and with respect for the autonomy and well-being of the individual. This ongoing ethical dilemma is likely to become even more complex as technology advances and new forms of persuasive technology emerge.